Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, Mrs. Lee, Minister for Communications and Information, Mr. S. Iswaran, Senior Minister of State for Communications and Information, Ms. Siman, Senior Minister of State for Communications and Information, Dr. Janiel Puthucheary, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My colleagues and I are honored by your presence here this evening as we celebrate the 20th anniversary of Channel News Asia. Thank you for coming. Many of you may remember the Asian financial crisis of 1997, which affected many Southeast Asian and East Asian countries. It started when Thailand was forced to devalue its currency relative to the US dollar as a result of sustained attacks by currency speculators. By March 1999, Asia was on the road to recovery, but many businesses were still hesitating in investing in the region, and many companies, including local companies, were hesitant to expand internally. At the same time, IT and telecommunications were starting to converge, giving rise to multimedia companies with new sources of news and entertainment, challenging mainstream media. It was under these difficult circumstances and uncertain circumstances that the idea for Channel News Asia arose. It just so happened that I was working in a news department in the predecessor, Mediacorp's predecessor, which is Singapore Broadcasting Corporation and then Television Corporation of Singapore, between 1993 and 1997, before I was transferred to the Ministry of Information and the Arts, or MITA as it was called at that time, under the then Minister George Yeo. At that time, at senior levels of the company and also in government, there was an increasing recognition of the need for an Asian voice, an Asian alternative to Western reports on Singapore and in the region. I think many of you may recall the running battles which the Singapore government had with foreign media, including Far East, Economic Review, Asia Week, and Asian Wall Street Journal over our right of reply. From there sprung the idea of a channel dedicated to providing unbiased, accurate, contextual, and timely news of the region. Channel News Asia was first launched in Singapore in March 1999. A year and a half after that, in September 2000, on the back of positive feedback, we launched Channel News Asia as an international service, CNAI. Our guest of honor at that launch was the then Deputy Prime Minister, Mr. Lee Hsien Loong. And today, 20 years later, after the formation of Channel News Asia, having Prime Minister Lee to grace this event is indeed an honor and of deep significance to us. Much has changed in the media landscape today. News aggregators, their celebrity bloggers, citizen journalists, they become commonplace. It is no longer easy to differentiate opinion from facts. Worse, there is now a proliferation of fake news. Accuracy is no longer valued as it was in the past, and it's no wonder that the public indifference and cynicism has grown. To stay relevant, Channel News Asia has been working hard to transform itself into a transmedia company, one that is available in every platform that the public uses. We intend to be an impartial provider of accurate information and insights, and a source to uplift the standards of journalism and also to deepen the knowledge amongst our citizenry. We are investing heavily in technology, including augmented reality. I think you've seen some of that in the Malaysian elections and during the Thai cave rescue in 2018. And we're also looking at artificial intelligence or AI to see whether we can produce various facets of our news more productively. I think this is being done in many other news agencies, including Bloomberg, where about a third of their news is done by AI. And I think Xinhua is now using AI to to do presentations of their news and so on. As we mark our 20 years in service, we have come up with new initiatives to reflect changing needs and preferences. Let me just mention a couple. We will be premiering Asia First, which combines the best of the current 2 morning shows, First Look Asia and Asia Business First. Asia First will synchronize live news coverage between our TV and radio studios and our digital online platform. Our news radio station 93.8 Now will be remade later this year by CNA Talk, which will feature more live talk radio format built around news and current affairs. Tell CNA will also be launched later this year to provide a single, seamless platform for the public submission of whether it's text, photos, or videos to our mobile website, WhatsApp application. Content, of course, will be verified by our team of editors before being reported on. In this milestone year, we will also host an inaugural CNA Leadership Summit. Slated for the third quarter of 2019, the conference will bring together industry leaders to discuss and debate a theme centered on Asian leadership in global innovation. As part of our transformation, the brand name of Channel NewsAsia will be shortened to just CNA. We are dropping the television-centric reference to a channel so that we can embrace our new transmedia multi-platform reality. I think it does make a difference. When you look at Channel NewsAsia, people remember channel means they will look at TV box. It's no longer just looking at TV boxes. We are much more than that. Let me end by restating our commitment for CNA to be a trusted source of news and information in today's polarized media landscape. Let me also say that these pursuits would not have been possible without all of your support. On behalf of Mediacorp, I would like to thank all of you for being a part of the continuing story we are celebrating tonight. Thank you and enjoy your evening.